Mostly I use the block just to keep the legs aligned and active.
Oh, thanks.
It's totally optional. And remember, everything in class is optional except breathing with attention. We're all breathing all the time, but usually it's a very shallow breath that we've all become accustomed to. And we want to bring in that full belly breath. So let's try that. Let's begin with that. If you have a block, feel free to use it with the feet parallel, hip width apart. When I talk about the hips, I mean the hip points, not this. So it's about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches between the feet. And let's roll the shoulders up and back and down. Check in with the neck this morning, the jaw, cheeks, eyes, forehead, every part of the face, the throat. And let the shoulders stay back and down. Let the chest expand. You'll feel a curve in the back, a natural curve. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Or if you like, the hand from the belly, which you know, we're used to feeling that go up and down, you might bring it up here to an area where you're not sure you feel it rising and falling. So feel your feet pressing down, feel your buttocks, sitting bones on the chair. And begin noticing the inhale, filling the belly, filling the chest, and filling the collarbones against your hands. You might feel it up here, you might not, but it's happening. The exhale from the top to bottom. Imagine the exhale emptying from the collarbones to the chest to the belly. So picture a pitcher. You're pouring a pitcher of water and filling from the bottom up, and then pouring the pitcher out, emptying from the top down. The exhale could be through the nose or through the mouth. If you're feeling cold, you want to keep that exhale in longer, so exhale through the nose. Keeping some of the warmth in the throat and chest. If you're feeling hot like me all the time, you can exhale through the mouth. Letting go of toxins, letting go of negativity, anything excess that we want to get rid of. So a couple more. And we'll do another few kinds of breath throughout the class. Let's release the hands, shoulders back and down again. And let's do some sun breaths, lifting the arms, taking your time to get there. Releasing on an exhale. Again, exhale through the nose or through the mouth. But the inhale is always through the nose. Why? Because the nose filters the air and warms it for our bodies to digest more readily. Digesting the breath like we digest food, like our eyes digest images, our ears digest sounds we hear. And taking it easy, noticing where your limit is this morning. Every day is different. Sometimes from morning to afternoon to evening is different. So work with your body as it is this morning. From here, we're gonna come into a gentle twisting. So inhale, arms up. Exhale to one side. We're not gonna hold this. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, twisting to the other side. Taking your time at your own pace. We each have our own schedule, our own pace. And you can take as many breaths in between as you like before shifting from one side to the other. Notice the back, low back, middle back, upper back, shoulders, shoulder blades, the waist and ribs, everything getting energized in the side to side motion. Next time, let's hold the twist. So one hand behind you, either holding onto the chair lightly or Letting the arm drop down on the chair and the other hand crossing over. Sit up tall, feel the crown of the head reaching up. If you have a block, or even if you don't, feel the strength of the legs. Parallel, in place. Take a couple of breaths here. Shake out the neck, shake out the head as if you're saying no. Nod the head yes. And turn the head opposite, looking the other way. Relax the jaw. Breathe here. Soften the jaw, the cheeks, the lips. Maybe a little smile, a Mona Lisa smile or a deeper smile. Come back up through center. And exhale to the other side. Again, holding on to the back of the chair or letting the hand drop. And you can also use the strength of the hands to help you twist deeper. Pressing the hands against the chair or against the knee or thigh can help you turn the belly, chest, and ribs. Gazing over the shoulder, checking out your peripheral vision on the side. Shoulders down, away from the ears. Turn the head opposite, looking the other way, relaxing the face, cheeks, eyes. Back to center. Inhale, reach. And reach those fingers as tall as you can. And then notice the shoulders, lower the shoulders down 20%, 15%. And let's do that again. Reaching up on an inhale, exhale, release. Again. 2 more. Notice we begin to feel a cat and dog motion. So let's lower the hands down and do that cat and dog. So you might want to sit at the front edge of the chair. And on an inhale, expand belly, chest, and ribs, elbows come back. Exhale, release to neutral or round. Inhale, chin lifts, gaze upward. Exhale, lower your gaze. Feel the spine moving forward and back. So these are the first 2 of the 6 movements of the spine, which we do every time. It's my go-to for low back pain, for relaxing my mind when I'm tense, worried. Dropping into this breath that goes with the cat and dog. Relaxing, whatever you can. So we're working the spine, we're working the arms, the legs are supporting us, but soften the jaw, soften the cheeks, the neck, the throat. And release, and let's go side to side. The 3rd and 4th movements of the spine are lateral. The arms could hang down, or you might take the arms out and reach side to side. Keep the breath flowing gently, smoothly, evenly. And turn the head if you like, looking one side and the other. And release. Shoulders back and down. Let's try one more twist. So sit up front in the chair and bring the back hand to hold on to the top of the chair or the base of the chair, stretching that arm. So walking the hips forward. And I have one arm back, the other arm is going to come behind me. And then I'm going to turn the opposite way. Try breathing in this position. Notice how it feels. You're having the hands holding the chair will keep you from falling. Keep you right here. Keep your attention right here, right now. And release. And let's try the other side. So taking the other arm back. One hand holding onto the chair, the other arm, stretch it out first, and then bring it back behind you and twist. So this is called a bound twist when one arm is behind you. Stretching the shoulders, but let them relax at the same time. Notice the space between the ear and the shoulder. Release that whole area. Stretch the eyes to look behind you. Come back to center. Let's come back to cat and dog. Inhale, chest opens, chin lifts, or your gaze lifts. Exhale, release. A few more. And make that exhale loud. Hear it. Hear the soothing sound of that ha sound or hum sound. And notice the sound of the inhale through the nostrils. You might notice it as a so. The exhale is a hum. And that's a mantra that's used for relaxation. So hum doesn't mean anything. It's just the sounds are soothing to the mind. Doesn't matter how slowly you move through the cat and dog or how fast. Wherever you are is where you should be this morning. Whatever feels right for you. And release again, shake it out. There's blocks there if anybody wants. I'm just using them to energize the legs. And actually, I'm not going to use it right now. So let's do some cross work. So let's cross the top leg, the right leg over the left. If you're doing what I'm doing, the same side, we're doing both sides, so it doesn't matter. And begin lifting and lowering the standing heel. You could imitate that movement with the hands, so we're working the wrists as well. And tune into the breath. You might inhale when the hands and heel are up, exhale when you release, or the opposite. So notice which way feels easier to you. And then take a moment and switch. So exhaling when we're up, inhaling when you're down. Takes a while to switch. I can't even get it right. Your attention has to be right here, right now. So it's a little hard to talk and do it at the same time. So I'll let you guys do it right. Okay. And then let's circle the ankle. You could release that bottom heel, circle the ankle, circle the wrists in one direction and the other. Keep that breath smooth and even. Relax the jaw, forehead, cheeks. You can close the eyes sometimes if you feel like it to get more into your own sound of your breath. And then let's do eagle pose. So we're contracting the legs. If your right knee's on top, bring the right elbow under. If it ends up you're doing it the other way, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you do both ways. And then bring the hands together and release. The same with the legs. Bring the shins together and release. And add the breath again. So maybe inhale when you close, exhale when you open, or the opposite. Just notice which way you're going, because we're going to change the breath again. It's good for the brain work, to change the habit, to switch it up. So take a pause and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. It's a little brain game, not so easy. But worthwhile. And release, shake it out. Open up to a 5-pointed star. Sitting on the edge of the chair, you might be able to flatten the feet down. And you might be able to flex the feet, bending the elbows and knees, flexing feet and hands, and then stretching into your five-pointed star, flattening the feet. Let's continue with this. The inhale and the exhale before we do the other side of the eagle pose. So this is a really nice heart opening posture. Check in with your face, your neck, your back. Notice any little spots that are tense or big spots, and send the breath there. Imagine you're sending the breath there. One more. And release. Let's come back to center and cross the opposite leg. So you have to keep track of which side you're doing. And then begin lifting and lowering the heel. Sitting up tall. Reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, up towards the sky. Imagine there's an invisible string holding you up. From the top of the head, lengthening the whole spine. Again, relax the jaws, the eyes, the jaw and the eyes. And you can circle, noticing maybe a difference between the first side and this side. It's normal for the sides of the body to be uneven. And then let's cross the leg. So if your left knee is on top, bring your left elbow under so that the left side is near each other. And lift and lower if you like. And that's a great modification that you showed me last week. So that's really good. You can also do it this way. And let's open and close. The same with the thighs, with the shins. Drawing them together, feeling that effort, and release. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And feel free to take a pause and switch direction of the breath. And again, tune into the neck. Make sure the neck is not engaging in this. You want the neck, the face, the jaw, the eyes to all relax while we're working the legs and the arms. And let's open up again. Five-pointed star, feet flat on the ground. And then bend the knees, bend the elbows. Victory pose or goddess pose. Straighten into five-pointed star. Victory pose, and continue. You could add a Kegel, lifting the pelvic floor and release it. Notice the core working. Notice how it feels. Keep your attention right here, right now on this Friday morning. The chit chat of the brain wants to keep coming in, but just say to it like, you know, I'll give you attention later. And release, shake it all out. Let's try a couple of warriors, seated warriors. So I'm going to take my right leg to the right side of the chair, creating a 90-degree angle. And my chest is still facing, my hips, chest are still facing that left knee for warrior two. Arms out, press down into both feet. So you're really sitting up tall. You could be perched at the front of the chair if you like. Gaze at the right fingers. Reach. Stretching to the side and stretching back. Imagine you're reaching forward into your future, reaching back to the past. Keep shifting the hips side to side. You could look back towards the left arm, checking on your alignment. The arm should be more or less at the same height. And then stay in the present, in the center, grounded through the feet, the legs 90 degrees. Soften that right elbow down onto the thigh and reach the left arm up and over. If you like, make an okay sign with the fingers in both hands. Tip the chest open, reaching in this extended side angle. Relax the neck. Keep the breath smooth and even. And then let's come into peaceful warrior, windmilling the arm so the top arm comes back. The other arm comes up, opening the whole side of the chest. One side opening, one side contracting. Both feet supporting you. If you like, you can hold on to the chair to come in a little deeper. Your grip soft. Relax the neck again. And come back to warrior two, arms straight out, feet grounded. Let's come into triangle. So reach forward towards the right and then lower that hand and raise the opposite arm. So that bottom arm is pressed against the thigh or knee or shin. If this is not good for you to have the arm up here, feel free to keep it on the hip. Or holding onto the chair in a way that opens the chest. Breathe here, reaching the head out to the side. You can shake the head no, nod the head yes, relaxing the face. And let's come back into peaceful warrior, reversing the arms, opening up on the other side of the belly, chest, ribs. And release. Let's come forward and shake it out. So we'll do all that on the other side. In a different order. I can't remember the order. And let's take the left leg now, 90 degrees from the right. Settle the feet down. Make sure the heel is right under the knee. Turn the hips to face that front leg. So squaring the hips forward, arms out, gaze towards that front arm, the left arm, if you're in the same position as me, and begin reaching forward and back. Again, coming into your future and releasing back to the past. I like that imagery I learned from a teacher. Everything I'm telling you, I learned from all my teachers. And notice how this feels in the hips, in the waist, in the ribs, in the neck. And then right in the center, in your warrior two, pressing down into the feet, into the buttocks, and expanding the heart center, raising the crown of the head. Let's bend that elbow, that left elbow, bring it to the left thigh, and reach. If you like, make that okay symbol with the fingers. Tip the chest open. So don't let that front arm cover your face. Bring it upward or even back. Breathing here, relaxing the neck. So we're leaning on the thigh, but we're also opening up. And from here, let's come into that peaceful warrior, reversing the arms. You can keep the okay sign in the fingers as long as you like. Gives them something to do. And then come back to center. And we'll come into triangle. So reaching forward into the future. Lowering the arm down against that leg. And raising the opposite arm up. So we're in triangle pose. The raised arm could also stay down on the hip. And be creative. Use your own body's wisdom to change any posture into what feels right for your body at this moment. without thinking about it too much, just going into positions that feel better for you if the one I'm modeling doesn't feel right. Remember, this is your yoga class. We're each doing our own yoga practice. From here, coming back to peaceful warrior. Feeling the stretch in the ribs and the waist, and the underarm, and release. Let's take a moment to do another breath. Let's do lion pose. I think we did it last week. So lion pose, we're going to gather all our tension. We're actually going to feel that tension and then let it go with a ha. So we're going to inhale, and we're going to keep inhaling, but you'll feel tight. The tighter we get, it'll be harder and harder to inhale. And when you've had enough, we're going to let it all out with a ha. And listen to that sound of the ha. It's really a release. So let's tighten up toes, knees, thighs, shoulders, chin. Make fists, close the eyes really tight. See how it feels to breathe here. When we're stressed, we're in some version of this tightened up position, even if it doesn't look like this. Notice it's not easy to breathe here in this closed up position. When you're ready to come out, we're going to let go of everything. Good. How does that feel? We're going to do it 2 more times. That was practice. So let's tighten up, closing off the body, the jaw, the cheeks. But don't do it so much that things hurt. We don't want pain ever, even in this tightening. And then release. One more. Shake it out. It's a great one to teach kids. You come home from school all revved up. This is a good one. And let's stand up. So we've been doing that lately. If you can't stand up or don't want to, feel the effort of getting ready to stand up, tightening everything as if you're going to stand up. And if you want to join me standing up, then continue, go through that pose. Good. And then we're going to sit down. We're going to do that 4 more times. So notice which muscles are working in the standing and sitting. If you tend to get dizzy, keep your gaze downward or just stay seated. I lost count already, so let's just stand up. Is that it?
Yes.
And let's switch side to side. And let the heel come up off the floor. Let the heel swivel so that the ankle and the toes get some movement. We want the joints, all the joints to move here. Find your breath. Letting out the exhale through the mouth or through the nose. And again, if you tend to get lightheaded, you can do the seated, or you can keep your gaze focused on a point and not turn your head. Keep the head, the eyes gazing downward. And then come into a hug. One hand in front, one hand behind, reaching the fingertips towards the opposite side of the waist. Shoulders down. If you're not sure, lift them up. Lower them down. Soften the knees. Don't lock them. Gaze towards the back of the room, finding a spot to gaze at. And release, unwind, and rewind to the other side. Lifting the back heel helps you come deeper. Again, notice the shoulders. Can you relax them down? Look over the shoulder. One way, and maybe the other way. And come back to center. Let's circle those hips. And let out any sounds that feel good to you. Listen to the sounds of the exhale. Listen to the sound of the inhale. You can always come back to that so hum in your mind, that so hum, that soothing mantra that imitates the breath. So circling the hips the other way. Good. And then let's take the arms out and wring them out. So the feet are grounded. We're standing up tall. Crown of the head reaching up as if by that invisible string pulling us up. There's a natural curve in the back. The breath is smooth and even. See if you want to switch one way and the other way. Don't think about it, just do it. You can also add a bend in one knee and the other knee. Stretching the spine side to side. So they say dance like nobody's watching, yoga like nobody's watching. Relax the jaw, the cheeks, and release. Roll the shoulders up and back and down again. Let's take a step, so you can keep the chairs right where they are, just step behind your chair and walk the feet back, holding on, not a hard grip, just a light touch, stepping the feet back until the back feels parallel to the ground. Feet are hip width apart. Head can stay as high as you like, but if you lower it down between the arms, soften the knees. Let the belly rest on the thighs or close to the thighs. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. Feel this nice stretch of the spine from the tailbone that's jutting back to the crown of the head that's reaching forward. Breathe here. Here we're going to do another twist. Bring one hand to the hip and just look out to that side. You could do this also without a chair, with a wall or a table, a windowsill. Come back to center. Take a breath or two, stretching out the spine, lengthening it. And you decide how far away from the chair you step back, or how forward you step forward. Bring the other hand to the head and open up the chest in the other direction in a twist. Breathing here, nice full breaths, tailbone back, and reach the hands forward again. And then walk the legs forward, turn around. So your back is to the back of the chair. And then start walking forward until you feel a back bend, fingertips touching the top of the chair, pressing the hips, the sternum forward. Nice back bend, shoulders away from the ears, relax the jaw, soften the face in this nice supported back bend. Another option is to bring the hands, I know you can't see me, you're facing the other way, but bring the hands slowly from the chair to the back. And it could be palms, fingertips, or fists pressing into that low back or sacrum, and a little massage, noticing how that feels. So if you're doing this camel pose away from the chair, you won't come in as deeply as we did holding on to the chair, but you're getting a nice back bend, leaning into the hands, and then release back to neutral. And let's switch again. Okay, so now we're ready for balance on one foot. All the standing is balancing on 2 feet. So feel free to hold on to the chair. Step down onto the right foot or the left. We're going to do both, but I'm going to talk to one side. So stepping onto that foot, and the other foot pressing against the heel, against the ankle, or the any part of the foot against the ankle of the standing leg, and turn the hips, opening the hips like a book, a little bit. Notice how it feels to balance right here, even though both feet are touching down still, but it's a one-pointed stance. And then slowly, if you like, lift that leg up anywhere along the inseam of the standing leg. If you like, play with the hands. Relax the jaw, soften your gaze, gazing at a point ahead of you. Add that Kegel, lifting the pelvic floor, engaging the core, but not the face. You might take the arms up. You might hold opposite arms behind you. And notice when you bring the arms behind you, we'll do it when we're not balancing. It causes you to stand up tall. And release. Shift your weight from side to side. Notice a difference after 2 minutes, 1 minute between the legs. And then feel free to come to the other side of the chair if you're going to hold on. Step down onto the foot you didn't work on yet. And bring the, so I'm stepping down on the left foot. Left sole of the foot totally pressed down against the floor. The right foot against the left heel or ankle. Stand up tall, feel free to hold on, but lengthen up. So you feel a buoyancy in the upper half of the body, a grounding in the lower half. Shoulders down away from the ears. How does it feel to stand right here, balancing in a one-pointed stance? And if you like, raising the leg up to challenge yourself more. Soften the knees, don't lock them. We don't want to lock anything. Relax, cheeks, forehead. Maybe arms behind. It's okay to fall in and out. When I'm not teaching, I'm falling in and out. For some reason, when I'm teaching, it's I don't know. It's a charm. So come back to center, circle again. And let's come back to sitting. And we'll do a little side stretch again. So sitting at the front of the chair, take the arms up, pressing down through the feet, through the buttocks, then reaching fingers to the sky, then shoulders relax a little. Grasp the left wrist with the right hand and pull to the right. Breathing here. Keep those legs parallel. That's why I like having a block. So the legs stay sturdy and strong to support this. Both buttocks stay down. Soften those shoulders. Shake the head no, nod the head yes. Release the lower arm if you like. Either all the way down or on the hip. Notice how it feels to stretch to the side. And then bring that arm back up. And I'm going to grasp the right wrist with the left fingers and reach to the side. Pulling gently. Relaxing the head between the arms, softening the lips, the face, the tongue, and the mouth. Lowering the bottom arm if you like. Palms could face each other, or maybe the hand on the hip instead. Keep pressing into both sitting bones. And bring yourself back up. Link the thumbs together. And open up, fingers opening, underarms stretching. Feel that back bend. The chin can tip up and down, side to side. And release. And let's come into a forward fold. So forward folds are down regulating for the nervous system, and back bends are enlivening, awakening. Notice the difference between this and this. So let's come down with a flat back. We're not rounding the back. We're just going to tip forward onto the elbows, onto the forearms, and we're going to do what's called a Prana Bath. So prana, our own energy, we're going to bathe in it. So how do we create prana? It's in us all the time, but we can notice it more when we rub our hands together, when we energize any part of the body, the prana is stronger, or we just notice it more. It's the life force. It's always within us. It's in the breath. So warming the hands and tipping onto those elbows and cupping the hands over the face, over the eyes, over the nose. Take a few breaths, letting the hands support the weight of the head. So leaning forward, softening the jaw, letting the head rest in the hands. Breathing here. Eyes can be closed or at half mast. Notice how it feels to let go. Notice the energy lowering down from the head, from the fingers, down, down, throughout the body, down to the legs, into the ground. Take a couple of breaths here. If you like, you can lower the hands down onto the legs or onto a block, onto the floor, keeping the spine lengthening. So we're still trying not to round. Spine lengthening from the tailbone to the neck. You might want to open the legs wider to let the belly come between the thighs. You can keep the head higher than the heart, or if it's okay for you, if it's safe for you, you can lower the head down. So take care of yourself. You know what you can and cannot do, or should and shouldn't do. And in any position, shake the head gently. No, nod the head yes. Breathing into this forward fold, inversion. If the head is lower than the heart, it's an inversion. And then slowly, slowly bringing your elbows back to the thighs, staying there for a moment to equalize the breath or position, and then press down in the hands and bring yourself back up. So we're going to try one more breath before the guided relaxation. We're going to try the buzzing bee breath, which we've done before. And that's a breath where we close off the senses with our hands, reminding us kind of to close off ears, eyes, mouth. We're still breathing, so we're not covering the nose really, but, and not pressing hard. It's not about pressing. It's about, I just read the other day that it's more about like drawing the face wider. Even though we're not pulling, just feeling that relaxation as if we're pulling the face wider. So sit up tall, shoulders back and down again. Feel the feet supporting you, supporting us, or the feet can come forward also. And then bring the peace fingers over the eyebrows as if they're covering the eyes without touching the eyes. Bring the lower two fingers over the mouth. And a little feeling of pulling to the sides. The thumbs are going to cover the earlobes, the ears, lightly. So we're closing off the external stimuli. Take an inhale. And for the exhale, we're going to hum it out. So taking that whole exhale out in a hum, and we're going to repeat 2 more times. So inhale through the nose. Exhale in a hum. Relax the shoulders. If you like, one more time. Inhale. And then just release your hands down to the thighs. Eyes closed or at half mast, or just gazing downward. And notice if that was good for you. Not everybody likes that breath. The vibration of the humming reverberates throughout the body. And for me and many people, it is a calming kind of feeling. We're really closing off sounds and everything that's outer and going inward. Walk the hips back, taking your time to get there. And then we're going to walk the hips forward. You could use the hands to help you, or you could keep your hands on your body, just using the core. So energizing the legs in the middle of the body again. Forward, using our core strength, and back. And if you have a block or a sweater or anything you want to place behind your back, just under the shoulder blades, just roll it up and bring it there so that you're sitting up tall, leaning on that object, but keeping the spine erect, lengthening. Feet down on the floor. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Stretch the toes and then release them. Again, stretch, even if you're in shoes, you can stretch, hopefully, and release. Notice the buttocks on the chair, sitting bones. Shoulders roll back and down. Hands can stay on the lap or hang down. Try both, see which one is nicer for you for relaxation. We want to get comfortable, but just a little comfortable isn't enough. We want to get super comfortable, more comfortable. If you were doing this on the floor, you'd be with pillows and all kinds of things, but we're seated, and most of the day, usually throughout the day, you can't just take a break and lie down. So it's good to learn how to relax fully in your seated position. Like close your eyes or keep the gaze downward and begin to notice the skull, top, sides, back of the skull. Notice the air above your head. Again, eyes can be closed or at half mast or gazing downward. Notice the forehead, soften the forehead. Imagine all those lines disappearing, all those hard-earned lines just melting away. Notice the temples. If you like, you could take your own fingers in a downward motion from the part line in the center of the forehead down to the temples. And coming up again, and then pressing down. So noticing the downward motion of stress, tension, releasing. You can take the fingers or just imagine feeling behind the ears to the back of the neck, to the nape of the neck. And you can do all this just in your mind without actually moving the fingers. But it's nice to know how you want it to feel by using the fingers. Release the hands whenever you're ready and feel the after effect of the press of the fingers on the forehead, on the temples, behind the ears, down the back of the neck. Notice that sensation. Keep the breath smooth and even. The whole face relaxed, the jaw untensed by parting the lips, upper and lower teeth relaxed. You can stretch out the mouth. You can let the tongue hang softly in the mouth, or you can lift the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Notice how that feels. You might just want to bring that tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth for a moment or two. That stimulates a connection with the brain. Relaxing the face, the lips, the throat, back of the neck. Release the tongue. Let it relax. Notice the shoulder blades. Neutral. Notice the chest, the collarbones, the chest. We started out breathing into those areas. See if you can still feel the breath filling those areas without any effort. Inhaling, filling belly, chest, ribs, collarbones. Exhaling, releasing from the top down. Chest, ribs, belly, all relaxed on the exhale. Again, come back to the shoulder blades, upper back, middle back, lower back, the sacrum, the pelvis, the hips. Let them release into the chair like the earth supporting us. Notice the thighs, the knees, the shins, calf muscles, effortless. You might walk the feet slightly more forward and relax. Shins, heels, ankles, tops of the feet, toes, soles of the feet, the arches at rest. Allow the arches, if they're raised, imagine them lowering down towards the earth, like the ball of the foot, like the heel. Just imagining a letting go from the crown of the head down through the torso, all the way down to the soles of the feet. Take a couple of breaths here. Slow, smooth, and even. So Shavasana is meant to be fully relaxing, not necessarily to fall asleep in. You want to keep the awareness of the breath, of your attention right here, where you're sitting in this space on this Friday morning. But if you fall asleep, that's okay too. My husband always falls asleep in Shavasana. Letting go. And then we're going to slowly re-energize. So stretch those toes and fingers, and then tighten the toes and fingers. Like a starfish, stretching and closing. Opening the palms, closing. And release that again. Imagine that energy flowing upward from the ground to the shins, to the calves, to the knees. Maybe tighten the thighs, the quads, the hamstrings, and release. And do that again. Bringing the energy up towards the core. Belly, chest, ribs. Feel that breath. The three-part breath, filling and emptying. It's a 360 breath. Feel it in the belly, chest, and ribs, in the waist, underarms, and the whole back of the torso. All the way to the throat, the shoulders. Notice the shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, fingers, palms. And stretch those palms open and release them. Come up to the jaw. Let's open the mouth wide. Side to side. Up and down. And then release. Open the eyes gently and gaze upward, keeping the head still. Upward gaze, downward gaze. Upward, downward, side to side. Checking out that peripheral vision again, waking up vision. And then a diagonal, upper corner to opposite lower corner. Keep the breath smooth and even. And the other side, upper corner to the opposite lower corner. On an inhale, take the arms, palms up, all the way up. And then turn the palms towards the sky and rock side to side. Feel the feet pressing down, supporting this whole body. Take a nice full inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose or mouth. Come back to that so hum sound. And then lower the hands in front of the heart, thumbs against your heartbeat, shoulders relax down. Notice how you feel right now after your yoga practice. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks for joining me.